Hi, my name is Lydia, and I am a person that does gaming, but now I'm going to get into my budgeting. I wanted to discuss this so I could be accountable and try to help me and maybe other people learn how to maneuver and help yourself with your debt. I've got some credit cards, I've got the house. I have a car note. My daughter has a student loan. She has a couple of credit cards. And what we're doing is we're kind of merging and putting everything so we know exactly what we're making, what we're not making, what we can pay, what we can't pay. And what we did is we found a person called Lyman Joy, and she was awesome on her channel. And what she did is she started about March of 2023 and started streaming her stuff. And I watched it for a couple weeks now, and I think it's really laid out well. So I'm trying to follow some of her stuff. Some of it I'm doing differently, but the gist is there. I can't do the envelope stuffing like she does, but I am doing it a little differently to help me pay my bills. So what I did is we have to figure out what my daughter and I are making. We work 20 hours a week apiece at a job, and when we get done at that factory in a couple months, when it starts to warm up again, we might start adding things like gig work, DoorDash, Uber Eats, because I did that for a couple of years as well. I just wasn't making the constant pay anymore. There was more people out on the street, so there was less work to catch, or what you were catching was not worth the mileage that you were driving. So I got to pay for gas, things like that. So I got a job at a factory and got decent pay. Started hurting my feet a lot, so I switched schedules. So I'm working 5 days a week, 4 hours a day. Sometimes it goes over, sometimes it's under. But for the next month, we're trying to do just the 20 hours. So a couple of my checks are a little higher, some are lower. But eventually we're going to be at that 20 hours, and then we'll hopefully pick up extra shifts and then do the gig work. So anyway, so Lyman Joy is where I got this here. You could read durable. That's just the binder. It's underneath it. But it says 2024 Extended Planner. Finding Joy in the Journey. So I bought this. I bought a different one first, because she showed that at first. So I bought this one, Easy Cash Budget Extended Weekly Planner. And this one was from, I'm trying to give you the names so you know this is not what I made, but I can't remember, and I don't see it on the planner. Usually they would show that on their planners if they are selling something. This is just not helpful. Oh, there's nothing on here. Anyway, we found this on Amazon, so I can't give you the name of the person, but okay, Alana, something happened here. The camera got hit or something, so now you're seeing garbage. That's my daughter's inhaler. Move that out of the way. Anyway, so I bought this, and then when I opened it up, I was like, this doesn't have what I need. So in here, it's got a big old calendar, and then it has events, appointments, notes, monthly goals. Then over here, it has income, which is little. The bills is not big enough. I have more bills than that every month. And a lot of this has to be fixed a little bit. She's not hearing me because she's trying to play her VR. Then we got cash envelopes and sinking funds, which I really can't do specifically. Savings challenges I can't do yet either. The debt tracker, look how little that thing is. So I don't know. And then this one here. And then you got extended trackers that has date, description, and amount. And then you go to the weekly budget planner. It just isn't laid out right. Cash stuffing. And that's pretty much all there is. So you get to the end of the weeklies, and then you're to the next month. So anyway, I bought that, and it really did not give me as much as hers did. So I bought hers, so now I just bought two things when I shouldn't have. So the first thing that you do is you print it out. So the first thing says yearly planner, so you got every month, right? So I got things like, let me get a pen, sorry. January, February, March. You got all the months. So in here, what are you putting? You're putting birthdays. So you're putting all your birthdays. You're putting Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween. A lot of our Thanksgiving and Christmas have not really been celebrated since my husband passed in 2016. We tried to get into it, and then my mom passed, and my husband passed here the 19th of November in 2016. So this is his death anniversary. And then my mom passed the day before Halloween on October 30th in 2021. So it's only been 2 years. For him, it's been 6 years, 7 years. Oh my gosh, 16. Oh, yeah, 6 years. It's going on 7 at the end of this year. And then we got our dog's birthday and our other dog's birthday. And then we got Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Easter is the 31st. My birthday, my daughter's birthday. Okay, then we get to the yearly goals. What is your yearly goal what is your goal for personal? We really didn't think of anything for personal. Business, we're thinking, my daughter is trying to get into video games. So one of the things is to make half of a video game. So focus, we're in January, it's beginning of the year. Focus and see if you could get at least half of it. If not done, at least going. And make character models. Finances, pay down debt, make extra income with gig work. That's all I have for my yearly goals. Then we go into the budget. So in the budget, I have down from my regular checking account. I have a regular checking. I have a backup checking account. And then I have a third checking account that I opened to help my mom cash checks, because at her bank at the time, somebody couldn't go up there with a check to cash it. So if somebody needed groceries or something, we didn't want to give somebody a debit card on her account. So she would write a check to the person. Well, if they wrote the check, it would cost every time you went to that bank for that person to cash that check in that bank. So I didn't want to put anybody on the account. So I opened my own account in that account. And I still have it, and I have like one bill that comes out every month. It was 2, and then we took one off. Anyway, so in here, what I have is my Romans card. I have a 0 balance. We paid that off last month. So that one is a 0 balance. So I still have it on the 1st, but it's a 0 balance. And I have my Amazon card. And I've been buying a lot of stuff on Amazon because their prices are good and stuff like that. So I do have a Romans Amazon card. That's due on the 2nd. Our minimums are 35. This is mostly minimums here. Capital One. That's my daughter's card. Her minimum is 64. That's the first one we're trying to pay down, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. So her minimum is 64. And then on this card, we just added our NICOR bills. And what happens is when you have a credit card and you pay it off, they could close your account for inactivity. So we don't want to do that. So we want to have a bill put on there. We could have waited till we were done paying it off and then added it. But my thought was, if we put NICOR on there right now, it's only $56 because I talked to my gas company. They said it would be, if we went on the budget plan, which just takes what we paid for the whole year and divided by 12, that's just the average for the last 12 months. $56 a month. So on the 1st, it'll be charged to that card, auto to Cap One, for $56. And so we'll make sure we do 64 plus 56 every month. And then we'll add to that. That's the plan. So then we got my mortgage. I took off my escrow, but they already paid taxes for the last year. And then they paid my insurance. When I switched insurance carriers to get a better rate on the insurance for the house, they paid them all up front. My plan was to pay them monthly, but they paid them off. So I don't have a bill for that until November. So it's $316.76 now. It was $495. Then they were going up to $580. It was like over $80 or $90 they were adding to my bill. And I was like, I think they're doing something wrong. They're adding too much money on the side to cover stuff. that I don't think we need to. So I took escrow off, but I still owed them money, so they're charging me so much a month to get that caught up. Once that's caught up, this bill will be 200 and something, which is awesome when you think about a mortgage for that. That will be my principal and my interest, and I'll go over that in a little bit too. My car note, these are all due on the 5th, see? And so is ComEd, but I'll get to that in a second. So then we got my car note, $333.76. I looked at doing that and paying extra payments for that, but for now I'm not going to do anything, so I'm going to leave that alone. Then we have our cell phones. It's $91.77 for the two of us, but that includes the payment for new phones that we had. You know, every time we get a phone and it breaks, we have to replace it. It cost us, and they break it into monthly payments, so they add that to your bill. So my bill, I think, is $60, and the other $31.77 is the other stuff, you know. Then we got my computer. So all this computer stuff that we're doing stuff on right now, my daughter had got it for school. I want to add another computer, but for now, it's like $100 and something, so our monthly bill is $20. And I have Comenity next to it because Roman's, Dell, and Catherine's are all through the Comenity Bank, those cards. So anyway, Dell is $20. And then down here, ComEd, they've been about $15 a month because I have solar panels. And you'll see that on the next bank account. So that's 16 is what I put down for my budget. So anyway, Neptune, that's my cremation, to cremate my body after I die. When I pay this off, $3,000, then my daughter won't have to do anything. She'll just have to get an urn and put my ashes in there, and then pay for the permit, because they don't let you prepay for permits because costs change on that. And when the big thing in 2020 happened, my county like tripled or quadrupled the price of permits, is what I was told. So I started paying on that, and then I was going behind, and then, you know, and all that. So I started doing auto pays of $50 a month. Now my daughter has a Discover. Now we had like $2,500 on it. Next thing you know, they like doubled it, and they gave us a credit limit of like $5,500. And I was like, we can't get that high. But then things happen. Life happens. So we have a big chunk on that. But that's also one that we have a bill that comes off on there. It might be Peacock on the computer. I mean, on the television, because we don't pay for cable anymore. We do streaming, which most of the stuff is free, but there's a couple of charges, and I'll go over those too. So that's $77 for minimum. And then we put all of her gas, the gas on the vehicle gets put on that card, and then we pay that off every month. So we're not paying off the debt. We're paying off what we use for that month, because we don't want to have the balance go any higher. And then on the 16th, Catherine's comes out. That's $40, which I have just a couple hundred on that, but I needed clothes for work and things like that. Now I have a program for my credit cards, $4.15 for some of them that are not part of this program, so I pay that every month. Instant Ink. Now Instant Ink is a program when you have HP computers where you can get the ink as you need it. You pay for the ink, but you get the ink and it comes automatically. You get so many pages a month, and then we also added paper, so they send you free paper, free ink. And you just pay so much a month. Like right now, I have $283 is what it's going to be. It is not coming out properly yet because we had to get a new printer. So our new printer gave us so many months free of this stuff. So even though it's not coming out, it's supposed to be $283. So I still budget for it. And then my water bill. It was a lot less, but it just seems like it's getting higher and higher. And I think that's because we're in 2023. So it's been about $300 the last couple of bills. I was looking last year, and I could not find a bill. I was like, what is going on? So when it finally did come out in like October or something like that, I had a double bill. It was like over $500. I was like, no way. And I looked, it said past due. I was like, oh. So there was a bill that must have came out, and I either missed it or it never came to my house. I don't know. So we got that. And then when I got my next one in December or January, it was another about $300. So I'm just budgeting for $300 every 3 months right now, and I'm putting $100 aside. And then my house taxes are between $200 or $300. I need to save up. Last year I paid a little over $1,000 for my first installment, and then about $700 and something on the second. So what I'm trying to save up for right now is about $1,200, and I do have, as of this week, I believe it is $800 put aside. So that's really cool. Now my which brings me to $1,818.12 for the month, which is a lot, but that's what I have. Now my second checking account, which this one was open because at one point my husband had refinanced the house a few times before I married him. And one of the times he refinanced, they went from paying the escrow to they would not pay the escrow. So he had to put money aside for the taxes and insurance out of pocket. And that's what this checking account originally was open for. So he would take his check and he would take so much and put it in this account every month. Now, after 2003, we refinanced again. And when at that point, we had to have the escrow put back onto it. So we just never closed this account. This was used for him to buy cigarettes or whatever. And he always used cash. My husband was not good. He did not use a debit card. I use a debit card. So does my daughter. But anyway. So this is the second account. So I have certain things. I called this my daughter's account, but it really is. They are all interchanged and intermingled. So anyway. So the first one is Sunrun. That's the solar panels. On the second, it comes in for $48.71. So the $48.71 plus the $16 I pay over here, for the last 5 months, I mean, throughout summer, throughout winter this year, I have had $15 bills. So 48 plus the 16, you're looking at 58, maybe $65 a month. And in the summer, I ran the air all the time. I was trying to make sure what my bill would be if I used the air, all that, because solar panels. Come on. And in the past, in the winter, you could have like maybe a $50, $60 bill for electricity. And in the summer, it would be more like $250, $300 if we ran it all the time, which we couldn't do. So we just never were able to be really nice and cool and comfortable in the summer. We ran it this summer a lot, and we got $15 bills still, because the solar was just pulling that electricity in, which is awesome. So anyway, this is a good deal, but it is for a long time. And every year or two, they go up a little bit. So instead of $48.71, it might be $48.95 or something like that, and a little bit at a time. And by the time you're done with your leasing, they call it, Anyway, this one here is for the insulation I put in my attic. So that was... on the 5th, it's due for $43.73. My daughter's student loan. So she went to college. She got scholarships. She got grants. Everything. But one summer, because it was not going to be enough credits, they wouldn't let her use the FAFSA and for that. And the summers didn't count on her scholarships. Scholarships were only fall and spring stuff. So anyway, so she took a loan out, and it was about 2 different loans. One was $1,000, one was $2,700, something like that. And there was no payments due. And when it was ready, they said, "Don't pay anything yet." And then they switched companies. Another company has the loan now. So anyway, so they have it now. Advantage, I think it's called, and $50.63. And I'm going to show you later about that, either now or another video. I'm not sure. So $50.63, because we've been keeping track for a little, for the last couple months. We made 2 payments so far. What came out for interest, what came out for principal, and then we're coloring in a sheet to show the progress. So it's kind of cool. Anyway, my daughter's life insurance that my mom took out for, and then we added another $5,000 or something. So it's $15.84. That comes out on the 12th. The 14th, we got my credit card. The only one of mine that's a major credit card is left is this one. and we're not making that a priority yet, but we are paying my warranty for my car out of that card every month. So we're making sure that gets covered, plus the $82. So that's going to be covered to start. And I'm not using that card to charge on right now. But eventually we will have that on there. So anyway, then my auto insurance, and then my life insurance that my mom took out on me from Farmers, $7.95. I tried to pay yearly, and they said it's cheaper to pay monthly. I've never heard of that. There was some discount if you made monthly payments and it was an auto pay. It would be $7.95. If I paid it yearly, it was going to cost more than that times 12. I was like, I just couldn't believe it. So I left it on the auto pay and I put it on this account. And then here's my house warranty. So this one comes out of this account on the 27th, $62.99. So my total out of this account is $593.57. Then here's my Comcast internet. That's the only one that comes out of the BMO account, $45 on the 5th. Then we got the subscription. So we went through everything. See, that's why I like hers more than the other book, because there's a little more to it. And you can print them out, and I put them in page protectors. So Amazon Prime. Now I use that a lot. Deliveries, free deliveries if it's over, I don't know, $10, $20, something like that. That's $6.99 a month. That's paid on my daughter's Discover on the 14th. On the 1st, Peacock, $5.99, and that's on my Credit One. So that's the other thing. So Credit One covers that, and it covers my auto insurance. Not insurance, auto warranty. Then we have Disney streaming. What we did was we had it on yearly, which it is, and it was $109.99. It just went up when we looked at it for renewal, because it renews every year. It's a yearly versus a monthly, and it's April 3rd. So then we looked, and they had it down under PayPal or something like that, which I don't have anymore. I got rid of that. So we had put it on her Discover. So that'll be something that's a yearly. So then we'll pay this off and work towards the other. Now, just recently, which we didn't know about, starting Walmart Plus has free deliveries. It has cheaper gas. I'm sorry. And all that stuff. So we pay that $98 for the year. So we made sure that's on her Capital One. Now, then we go to the calendar. So we have two. Because I bought the extended one, and because I bought the extended one, they made the calendar huge. So you have to write it in January. And then I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I just wrote the whole numbers here. This is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I wish it would have been Sunday through Saturday, but for some reason, a lot of these planners and stuff don't do that. And then I put my checks. My daughter and I get paid on Fridays. So check number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we go to the monthly budget. So all those bills that I put in for the year, for the 3 different accounts, which I think is really cool, we now put it for the month. And we put it by when they're due. I got to rewrite. So when I do my February's, I'm going to have ComEd up here by the 5th. My Nicor gas is not on here. Anyway, so far, these have all been paid up to there. What didn't get paid was this, and this was Saturday. So I'm probably on Monday it'll come out of my account. So then I went by paycheck. So like I said, when I had the calendar, so the 5th, the 12th, the 19th, and the 26th. So the 5th is here. So we made a little more. We had 24.15 hours. So that brought us to $808.65. So then we wrote the bills for the first part up to the 12th, which is actually to the 11th. So we did to here. These are scratched off because then I realized they shouldn't be on this one. This here equaled $805.36, which gives me $3.29 extra. It kind of sucks, but that's what happens. That paid my Amazon, Sunrun, Capital One for Alana, mortgage, my auto and loan for Capital One, my Xfinity Mobile, my Dell, Foundation Finance, Comcast Internet, and the student loan. We're all paid out of that bill. One of the things I want to talk about is here. That's the only thing that gets paid out of this, and we have a couple $100 in there right now, so it's all set and put aside. We don't use this for anything except for that, so we don't have to transfer money and go all over the place. Now, second check is the 12th, and it's really the 12th to the 18th. That one we had 27.28 hours, and we had holiday pay of 3 hours, so that was kind of cool. So, and Alana started getting the health pay on her check. I don't know. This one they messed up and it was not put into her check, but the next one it's inside her check. She's been working at the job since January 27th of 23. I started in August, so I don't know if that's something that's going to be on her check permanently. I don't know. So that was a lot more, $947.37. So that one, when you added it up, we had her life insurance. My credit one, I made $150 payment, not the minimum. Neptune, I paid the $50. Discover, we paid $275. That was like the gas and stuff. Catherine's $40. Five Lakes $415, and Instinct $283. So that means our bills for this paycheck was $948.67. We were short $1.30. I wrote it right here, so I could. Sorry, you can't see it. It says $1.30 short, and $948.67 is right there. Now the third check, which we just got on Friday, today is Sunday, so just 2 days ago. Now, on that one was our 20 hours. We've been doing 20 hours. We're going to do that for about 4 weeks. So this is our total for the two of us, $690.67. Now that's after taxes and 401ks and all that stuff put aside. Here comes the issues. Now, my auto insurance, my life insurance, one of my life insurances, American Warranty, which is the house warranty. My Nicor Capital One was put in here, but it's put through Capital One. So for now, I'm not counting that. ComEd 16, Village Adult, I put $100 aside. Right here. See, anyway, this way here, we had different amounts depending on what I paid or didn't. So I took the taxes and stuff, and I put it here, then I took it away, and anyway, that's why it's scratched off. This total is $468.66. So if you do $690.67 minus the $468.66, and over here I use $200. I put $100 for my taxes and $100 for my water bill. $200. So the $690 minus $468.66 minus the $200, we were short $8.66. Now next check, the only thing on there for bills is more of the insurance to put aside. And a payment we're going to put to 152 Capital One. So that's what we have right now. And then the next thing you do is your expenses. So the three things that she used, which I also think is important in my family, is our groceries, our gasoline, and our extra spending. Now, I'm trying to get rid of the extra spending. But the gasoline is on the Discover card. But I'm still keeping track of it because I want to pay that back every month. Groceries, we had more money at the beginning of this year, mostly because our dog got sick and she had to go on a bland diet. And it cost a lot more for that than it does dog food because you got to buy the rice, which doesn't seem like a lot until you have to put the same amount of chicken as rice. And they have to have, in the day, about almost 10 cups of food for this dog that normally does about 3 cups throughout the day. So now we're doing 10 cups of food. So we have to have 5 cans of canned chicken, and then we have to have at least 5 cups of rice made every day for the dog. Split up, that's just a lot. So a lot of this is that. And then the second week we didn't spend as much, and the third week. Now we just went shopping. My daughter went and picked it up. We've been decided not to go in the stores anymore. Order it through the Walmart app and then go pick it up. So she had $29.69 and then the $87.97, but that came off of our link, and we had another $4.64 for a sewing kit that we needed to pick up and a pizza cutter because we lost ours. I don't know what happened to it. Now here's the Discover charges we had. We had Bark for the one dog because we were trying to get her to play with some toys that the other dog used to have, but she tore them up like real fast within a day. We got some stuff at Dollar Tree. I got some blueberry plants I'm buying for this spring. And then some more Walmart stuff. And then I had to get my van fixed. We were having this problem, like the speakers weren't working in the van. So we called the mechanic we go to sometimes, Pep Boys, which some people can't stand. I don't care. They do a good job, but not one location. Only another location does a good job. It's weird. But called them up. They do not do radios. So called the dealership. They always charge a little extra. And so we made an appointment. They do radios, speakers, electricity, things like that the other places just don't do. So called them up, set up an appointment, went up there, gave them our warranty because we're paying for the warranty for the car. And the warranty covered $200 for the radio because we needed a new radio. We thought it was going to be speakers or wires or, something with that. But it was the actual radio. So we still had to pay $301 out of pocket. But they did cover $200, which I think was kind of cool. Then Lyman Joy. We got the something at Walmart for $55.05. And then we had Lyman Joy twice. So we had the one in the 1 week, which was this stuff. This printout. The second one is... Where is it? Here's the second book I bought. I was looking for this for a few weeks, and they finally updated it. So, this one I'll go over in a minute. That was $9.99. Then the check-in at the end of the month. Since we didn't finish the month, I filled out... I call this my worksheet. So this shows individually what I paid, and then here's the total. Then I take that total and bring it over here. So this is what I have. We spent $364 for the first week on groceries. Second week, $74. Gasoline, we spent $70 the first week, $65 the next. Then the extras, $687. But that includes the car repair and the Discover stuff. We're not going to do that regularly, but that is what it is. Discover after gas, I'm putting that in here so I can pay that back. It's not going to happen in 1 month, but we're going to try to make that a priority. This is my February. I already started the month, and then I wrote down just February under the monthly budget, which I'm going to rewrite, and then budget paycheck February. I said I'm going to put the check date here and what days it covers for the bills right there. So I got these 4 set up, and then I set this one expenses for the spending tracker for February, what gas, groceries, and extras. I'm going to try to make that extras a 0, but I said I'm not doing Temu for a while, and I'm not going to have to buy anything. I got all this stuff for coloring sheets. So our taxes, like I said, were a little over $1,000. So I'm budgeting for $1,200. Now that $1,200 is what I need for this spring. Because it was $1,050 last spring, like March or something. So I'm waiting on the bill to come in, but I'm guesstimating $1,200. And then look, you get to color it in. So for $1,200, 50 lines, each line constitutes $24. So then we said $800 is what we have. So $800 we already have aside, divided by 24, brought the line to here. And my daughter's having a good time with the coloring part of it. She's 22, but she likes to do that stuff. Now this one she didn't finish because we did the math wrong somewhere along the way. So I'm paying this debts down. So they're $415 a month, and I did that times 46 months is $19,090. You could pay extra or not, but it'll just make the months less. So that's our total. Then we said these 5 months in 2023 was 2,075. That would be 21 blocks. Plus, we did 415, which is another so many blocks. So we need, yeah, for some reason we thought 17 to start with, but it's not. So 17 plus 8 is 25. So she's going to have to fill this in. She has 17 colored right here. She has 17 of them colored. She still has to do the other 8 in here, but we just realized it last night. Here's my my daughter's Capital One card. Alana, this is not staying in the frame. The whole thing doesn't stay in the frame.
I don't know what to do with it. I'm sorry.
Help me. There we go. Maybe that'll help. Maybe. Okay. So on Capital One, we have $1,874. It's a lot, but we're trying to fix it now. So 1,874 divided by 50. There's 50 lines in here. Each line is $38. So we were able to do 3 lines on that Capital One. And on back here, because this is different, there's 150 little figurine guys. That right there means that each of these constitutes $13. So we were able to do 8 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of these. So, and the back of our sheets, we did the math. This is my life cremation here. We still owe $1,867 on it. $50 a month goes to it. It doesn't really have interest. So each of these little boxes is $19. But I just started this as of the end of January stuff. So we don't have that yet. Discover. We're not really paying that back yet, but we have the sheets so we could color it. Credit 1, same thing. I'm not really doing that. Then here's the car loan. We'll start filling this out as we go along, but we just started everything recently, like in the last last week or something. We want to start an emergency fund. We want to have at least $1,000. We're hoping to have about $5,000, but we're going to start with that $1,000. And for some reason, my daughter printed 3 of these out, so they're one on each side plus the top. Now, here's her student loan. So her student loan, we did the math, and we were all over the place on that. So her student loan was $1,000 plus $2,750. But then when they added the interest, so even though it's 0 interest while you're in school, or you don't have to pay anything while you're in school, all this interest came in. So she finished school in May. So she's only been out of school for about 6-7 months. But we have another $120 in interest. We have her debt was $1,000 plus $2,750. That's $3,750. So when we looked at it now, the loan, we've made 2 payments, but the loan for the first one for $2,750 is now $3,081.79, and the second one is now $1,120.50, which means it should have been $3,750, but it's not. But that's what we put down for her original loan. As of January 19th, her loan is now $3,701. So the first one, I'm going to take this out so I could show some of this. The first one here for $3,750. Then we got $50. I'm trying to make it focus, but for some, okay. Every payment's $50.63. And at first we thought we did the math. It was like 25 years, but it wasn't. It was like 6 years because you got to look at their site and you got to look at everything and all that. So the first one that came out in December, Out of the $50.63, the principal was $12.67. Now that divides between the two accounts. Interest was $37.96. Now when we did the math of the $37.50 minus $12.67 brought us to $37.37. And then the second payment, it reversed itself and more principal was paid, $39.60 on principal. The second one was $11.03. We did all this math, right? So then we took 33, and then we minused the 39.60, brought us to 36.97.73. But our total right now says 37.01. So I don't get where the extra $4. I think the interest was put on already, like it gets put on daily or something. So anyway, that's what we've been doing, which means this sheet, because it's 50 lines, has $75. We haven't reached paying $75 yet. Now this sheet, same thing. They're 100 boxes. They're 38 apiece. So she could do one right here. She could color one of these in. She just didn't do it yet. So that's how we're doing the student loan. Pretty cool. Now, years ago, my husband and I, we have life insurances through Prudential. Years ago, he would take out loans to help me get a new car. They were never new. Hold on. They were never new, but to take out car and stuff like that, like a $2,000 car, stuff like that, would take a loan out his life insurance. And he kind of screwed up there. But I also took loans out on mine. And you never pay the interest, right? You don't think about it. You think, oh, no big deal. But when my husband was getting in about a year before he was going to die, it was about $1,000 that we had to pay to the life insurance to keep the life insurance. And I was like, oh, if we get the money from somebody in the family in a year, we're going to be trying to get $1,000 again just to keep it going. We should just let the policy drop and take the extra cash and just take it. So, stupid mistake. I don't know. 8 months later, at the most, he was diagnosed with cancer. So, anyway, when that means we didn't have that life insurance policy that we were paying into. I don't even know when he started the policy. I met him in 92 and he was already had that policy. So then when I was married to him, we took a policy on me because we had my daughter. So we took a policy out on me. And then at one point I took a loan out of there of my policy. So we do have money we owe. So every year I pay $309 for my life insurance from this company. But I also pay the interest, which I didn't do for years. So this is not even the loan I took out. The $47.70 is not what I took out. That was a policy that was adding the interest every year because I was never paying the interest. Well, a couple years ago, I started paying the interest and the principal, what I owed for the year for the policy, and I paid the interest. So it would not make my loan go any higher. But I started thinking about it because I asked my daughter, do you think we should start paying on this? Or are you not concerned with it? Because that would take out money every month from our budget, blah, blah, blah. She's like, don't worry about it. Because I'm like, they said, this is what you'll get if I die after paying this off. They would take that off of the money and the rest you get to have if I die. Well, anyway, so I just started thinking about it. Since we're doing these sheets anyway, why don't we put this down? Hopefully, if we could put some money aside every year or even every few months, maybe to lower that and make it easier. So that would be every $96 I paid towards this loan can be another line. So maybe I'll pay another $100 whenever I can. Now here's my house. So my house, we started with $65,000 because we had the mortgage, and the home equity loan and all this stuff, and we put it together. Paid off some credit cards, blah blah blah, back in 2003. So we had 65,000. When my husband died, was in 2016. We still owed $40,000. When my mother-in-law died in 2020, I think it was. When she died, she had life insurance for us, which was awesome. And my sister-in-law said she wanted us to use it long term. She did not want us to just go out and have a party. She wanted just to use it long term. So I was like, well, I got to invest it. I can't spend it, blah, blah, blah. But I ended up using it on the house. She said the house is fine. It's an investment, blah, blah, blah. So I still have a little money now from that money. But I also put money towards the house. So instead of 40,000, I'm down to 12,583, and that's within 2 years. So I think I did pretty good. So we started now with the 12,583, and this as of January 2024. So there's 100 sections in here. Each section is $126. Now, right now, every time we make a payment, our principal alone is like 191 right now. And then every month it goes up a little higher. Less interest, more principal. Less interest, more principal. So this is principal that we're coloring in here. So my daughter's excited to color in and stuff like that. I don't know what these two sheets are because I'm not doing them. Now, here's my second book. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to stop here, and then we'll go over the debt-free journey as a separate video. So that's my budget. I'll try to get on every week and do this, and then maybe another one for my debt-free. One of the things I want to go over, though, before I get off, was I can't do the cash envelopes, but I did this, which I went over quickly, but I'm going to go over a little more. This is like my envelopes, really. A payment to Capital One. I put it over here. The other thing is what I'm doing with some of my money to put it aside, the taxes and the water bill and all that stuff. That is also going into my account, my high yield interest one for 5%, you know. Yeah, here. It's a wealth front. So in that one, I might go over that as a separate video too. Talk about Wealthfront a little more, but I'm not sure. For now, so I will check you guys next time. Bye.